Tonight, don't miss the premiere of Searching for Shohei, an interview special. Fox Sports' Ben Verlander sits down with the international baseball phenom for an exclusive all-access interview and in-depth conversation about Ohtani's unique path to superstardom.
Woo! It's going to be unbelievable. And about a year ago, I thought one of the best things I had heard our dear friend Colin Cowherd say was he did a whole thing about Ohtani, better than Babe, about how Ohtani is doing what has not been done since Babe Ruth. And the better than Babe stuff might be jarring, but the numbers show it's at least similar to what Babe Ruth when he was a Boston Red Sox, when he was hitting and pitching what he was doing. Babe, that year that we picked 1918, I think it was, he had 11 home runs. That was enough to lead the league. It is unprecedented and unbelievable. Roy, I should have just left this for you because I think you covered that Red Sox team for the Boston Herald. But, I mean, what Ohtani's done is just remarkable.
I was a baby at that time.
Oh, yeah.
Look, Ohtani is a living legend, period. And look, I'm intrigued to see if we begin to see two-way players, at least just a handful of two-way players coming up through college and the younger ranks and then into MLB. If we do, then Ohtani's the guy that started it. Yep. If we don't, and we don't get another guy like this for another 100 years, he's still a once-in-a-kind player. So either way you slice it, he's not even generational. It's every millennium you get a guy like this. It's unbelievable.
Sure.
Every century.
Century. That was a great take by you. That's fantastic.
I've been working on it since I was watching Babe.
That's after game one tonight. It will be excellent. We're going to move on. Talking Kyrie. Brooklyn kicks off their season tomorrow when they host the frisky Pelicans. Nick Claxton seeding some early positivity, saying this about Kyrie. I think he can be MVP. Also finals MVP. Whatever he puts his mind to, he can do it. Brew, your reaction.
Well, I love the positivity coming out of Brooklyn down the street. I got a little something for the Brooklyn Nets coming up later, but
wow.
Nick Claxton goes too far. He goes too far. And Kyrie, as great as he is, and you guys know, I think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. All right, period. Don't look at me funny. He is. All right, but he's not an MVP caliber player. Okay. But he could be finals MVP without question. If they could get to the finals, he could easily be the finals MVP. And I agree with Nick Claxton. He can do whatever he puts his mind to. Kyrie is a very strong-minded individual. All right, you don't get the best handle of all time in the NBA without being strong-minded. You don't master every jump shot. Like mid-range, turnaround in the post, three-pointer, he's got all of that. You don't become one of the best finishers ever for a small player without being strong-minded. And he's not like a super athlete, right? He's not Allen Iverson. No. He's not John Morant. So for his size to do what he does, clearly strong-minded. Now, we know the cliche, but it's true. Sometimes your greatest strength can be your greatest weakness.
Sure.
And Kyrie's used this strong mind too often for negative things, right? To not get vaxxed. And you're strong-minded enough to handle the criticism, but that wasn't the best thing to do. To leave LeBron, right? And we could go on and on about some of the negatives Kyrie's done. But if he will, and I think he will this year, Nick, put his strong mind fully based on basketball, even if it's just because he wants the bag next year. He's got to be all in, no hiatuses, best play. I'm playing, as many games as I can, I'm balling. 70.
70.
I'll be happy with 70.
Okay, so
73.
You'll be happy with 70.
Then he will have a great
70 I'd be happy with. The last 3 years, 20 games, 54 games, 29 games. So in 3 years, it adds up to 103 games. In that same time frame, the Joker has played 219 games and won 2 MVPs.
Yeah.
I get it. There's a host of reasons for it. But the real MVP played twice as many games.
This is
so. Well, he can't be MVP.
Hold on. Can I say something here now?
Go for it.
Because I'm sick of all the Kyrie stuff. Listen, he's
day one.
You
all
wanted
of it.
him in
No,
LA.
I'm all of it. He's Stephon Marbury. He's Stephon Marbury, but instead of affordable shoes and being a hero to the people of China, he's selling snake oil and he's a hero to the worst people in the world. So I'm just out. I'm out. And the MVP, that's Kyrie and his social media and the Alex Jones and the other reprehensible stuff he pushes out there to people who don't know any better. But so let's go on the court. I'm going to give you a list of names. You guys tell me if you know what they have in common. Ben Simmons, Julius Randle, Derrick Rose when he was on the New York Knicks, Pascal Siakam, Victor Oladipo, little Isaiah Thomas, Goran Dragic, Al Jefferson, Ty Lawson, and David Lee. Those are all people who in Kyrie's career have received something he has not, an MVP vote.
He doesn't have one.
He has never. Don't blame me,
But
America.
Are you trying to say that they're better than Kyrie?
What I am trying to say is, according to the prestigious MVP voters, all of those players at one point have had a season that was better than Kyrie that season. Brew, you have a vote. You've never voted for him. First, second, third, fourth, and fifth.
That's fine. There are a lot of Hall of Famers that never received the top 5 MVP vote.
There are?
Yeah.
There are. I bet there's fewer than you think. Because you look at it, some years 17 guys.
So you're saying Kyrie Irving is not a great player?
No. What I am, Brew, you don't need to put words in my mouth, because what I'm saying is very clear. The idea that he would ever be in an MVP conversation is absurd, because he's played in the league a decade, and Dragic found himself in one. David Lee found himself in one. DeRozan has found himself in one.
Really?
3 times.
David Lee was in the MVP conversation.
I don't know. He showed up on a ballot during Kyrie's career, and Kyrie didn't.
He was in the MVP. David Lee is not even in the same sentence as Kyrie Irving.
Again, Brew.
Short conversation.
Then take it up with the voters. What I am telling you is that little Isaiah Thomas has as many first or second team All-NBAs as Kyrie Irving in his career. Kyrie Irving is the great Kyrie Irving is an idea. We have not seen it in Brew. We have not seen
LeBron if it's an idea.
Well, let me finish, my friend. We have not seen Kyrie Irving have a single notable NBA moment in 5 years. He has lost 6 playoff games in a row. He has not seen round 3 since playing with LeBron. He has not seen a single good playoff moment outside of round 1 since playing with LeBron.
These are not a number 1.
Okay.
He's not a number 1. That's why.
Yeah, but he was all they wanted him to be. He hit one of the greatest
shots in NBA history.
6 years ago. Buddy.
One of the top 2. Still, he hit it. Did any of the guys you named? To put them in the same sentence as Kyrie Irving is crazy.
Drew, hold on a second.
Hey, I don't care how many MVP ballots they showed up
I'm not putting them in the same sentence. I'm putting them in a different category. They're in the category
They're better than Kyrie Irving.
Drew, I am not saying they are better than Kyrie Irving.
Then what are you saying?
What I am saying is those people have gotten MVP votes. You guys give me a hard time about not having a ballot. You can't blame me, America. Every year, 100 people submit 10 names. That's 10 times 100, that's 1,000. Kyrie's in the league a decade. 1,000 times 1,000, 10. Okay, that's 10,000 votes.
Names.
That's 5 names, sorry. So 5,000 votes. And he's 0 for 5,000 on getting on a ballot. But he's an MVP candidate.
That's
Give me a break.
Skewed analytics.
What do you mean skewed analytics?
I agree. He won't be an MVP candidate this year because not the best player on his team.
If I were to tell
Has he ever been the best player?
If I were to tell you there's only been 1 year in his career he's been a top 10 player, would you agree?
Maybe.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean he's not going to be a Hall of
NBA.
We've got more after the break. Who's winning the NBA Finals? We're doing all our predictions next. Ooh.